Carl and Damon here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's they made what into a TV series. Donkey Kong Country episode 36. Are you ready for this title? Hunka Hunka Burnin Bluster.
Yeah.
Say that one fast. Let's do it actually. Hunka Hunka Burnin Bluster.
Yep.
That is correct. Season 2, episode number 10, written by Bruce Robb, who I think is a great writer. And we'll get to why maybe in a different episode later on. But this is a strong episode, people. I think this is silly and different enough to entertain all elements. Older people, younger people, and so on.
Yeah, definitely.
Funky hurts his thumb, putting up a post at Bluster's factory and gets the attention of Candy and Bluster. It's for Funky's new restaurant and Bluster offers to take Candy there. She blows him off, laughs at him, and Diddy and DK laugh too as they watch on. But of course, DK, I always like these parts where they're like, and Diddy goes, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
That voice, it just always makes me laugh. But he does agree to take Candy until Diddy reminds him that the big game is tonight. So he blows her off. All right? Yeah. I swear he spends his life blowing her off.
Yeah, it's a very, very weird relationship.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we've already had Candy want to marry somebody else. And yes, indeed. She is angry even though DK offers to take her tomorrow. That's fair.
That's fair.
You know, it's like, listen, I like watching game tonight, all right, and stuff like that. And she reminds him that he's not the only fish in the sea. So we're getting around to that stuff again.
She's such a bitch, man.
And I was kind of like, he kind of is though.
Yeah, well,
he kind of
he
is.
is. Yeah,
Who else are you going to date?
Funky.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yes. All of this is watched by Clump. Again, remember I said in the previous episode that we're getting lazy with how this is found out.
Yep.
But it's even lazier here because K. Rool is monitoring Clump through his secret camera network thing. So why is why is it just not monitoring DK?
Seems there are cameras everywhere.
But this does give K. Rool the idea of thinking DK or making DK think Candy has dumped him. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, I'm down with that. It could be fun. Bluster is combing his hair and notices it is falling out. He panics. Brother, I feel ya. I feel ya. This is not by choice. This is not by choice. He decides to combine several of his hair tonics together to fix the problem. DK is confident that Candy would never leave him. That's foolish. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? That suggests if you're going to be blasé about it, you're not trying.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Clump sends up the letter written by K. Rool, and it reads that Candy has found someone else and DK is heartbroken. Did he suggest they find the guy and beat him up? Fuck you, did he?
I know, Jesus.
It's
a bit extreme.
Yes, K. Rool is pleased and figure with DK distracted he can get the crystal coconut. Course you can, mate. Course you can. I know you hate crystal coconut stuff.
Because again, there's no need for it. This could have been a good episode with this love triangle again, some sort of thing.
I am going to disagree.
Oh, okay.
I think Season 2 does it correctly. I think Season 2 knows the only way to get K. Rool directly involved in things is to have the crystal coconut there. He has to have a goal. But it no longer is the prominent position. What it is it's the MacGuffin. It's the tool that's required to create the story.
Yeah, that's fair.
We could not have this story. Why would K. Rool do any of this if he didn't need something for it?
That is true.
But
that's fair enough,
the crystal coconut's no longer important in that context. There are still episodes, we've done episodes where it's the predominant feature. Yeah. But in an episode like this, it's just there in the background as our reason to have a thing to exist,
makes sense.
That's it. It's the Triforce of power.
Yeah.
It's that. But what this is our actual story. So I'm okay with it in this context.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that makes sense.
So Bluster's concoction that he made seems to be magical, as it seems to glow. And then we go back to DK and Diddy, who find Candy, and he begs her for answers. She blows him off, and in a clever way of talking, it makes DK think the letter was real, even though she's actually talking about his behaviour in regards to blowing her off for the date. And he walks off to find out who the new ape is. Candy and Diddy then see K. Rool and gang leaving with the crystal coconut. DK gives chase, but the minecart is stopped by Bluster, who's now been turned into a tough and smooth monkey with massive hair and magical powers, it seems. It's a cool difference. It is funny. Yeah. He's kind of basically a combination. He's a little bit like the Fonz.
Yeah.
A little bit like that.
Yeah.
And he introduces himself with a song called I'm Leo Luster. I thought that was a really on the nose. Very, like, if you're an adult walking in and your kid's watching this and you hear, hi, I'm Leo Luster. You'd be like, what?
Sounds
What?
Like
you'd turn it. Well, Luster, it's there. But it's innocent enough that you can completely go, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, but a lot of kids films have.
Oh yeah.
They drop a lot of subtle.
Adult-orientated jokes.
Yeah.
However, they weren't doing that they weren't doing that as predominantly in the late 90s.
Yes.
I know you can point and stuff and say, oh, look, there's boobs in the rescuers and dancing and stuff like that and stuff. But, like, that was sort of, like, egregious stuff. This is, I don't think you can take this as an adult-orientated joke. I think it's kind of just a silly little wink, as it were.
Yeah.
So Leo gets to Coconut and sends the lizards off. He then gives it to DK and starts to hit on Candy, who is smitten with him and falls into his arms. I'm like, Matt, I know the writing of this episode always makes Candy look really bad.
Yeah, it does.
But each time they do, I'm like, good God. Good God.
You just want Donkey Kong to go, do you know what? Go. I'll find someone else. Anyway.
Who?
There's only apparently 4 or 5 apes in the island.
Exactly. Although apparently we're implied to believe it's a living, breathing world out there. Heading home, K. Rool realises they were hypnotised or something and sends Clumpman Crusher back to find out who this new ape is. Leo asks Candy to go on a date with him and she agrees, but he starts to transform back into Bluster. I thought that was an interesting touch. It's like, okay, so it's temporary. He runs off, fully changes back, something that Clump sees. Getting ready for the game, DK decides to give up on board games and beg Candy to take him back, something Diddy isn't happy about. Got a little bit of Grease vibes here. So, off topic here. It kind of drives me nuts, right? That people have twisted the ending of Grease into an odd thing. Do you know Grease, the movie?
Yeah.
Danny DeVito. I wish it was Danny DeVito.
Yeah, John Travolta.
John Travolta playing Danny Zuko. Olivia Newton-John playing Sandy, and so on. It's a fun film. Yep. It is a fun film, dated in ways and all that. But a lot of people, when they do, like, you see them in lists, and it'd be like, oh, films you thought were okay that aren't okay right now. And they often reference the end of it where it's like, oh, it's bang out of order that Sandy changes her entire personality to be with Danny. Which you can completely understand. It's that's not a good moral.
No, of course
the
not.
moral should always be accept who you are.
Be yourself, yeah.
Exactly that. But those things always overlook the fact that lead up to that scene had Danny changing who he was. He was going to become a jock.
Yeah.
He put a Letterman on and stuff like that and so on. It's when she reveals herself, they kind of switch back to what they are.
Yep.
Oh, well, that doesn't forgive the sort of odd, weird ending and forget the flying car bit and nonsense like that. Except it's a banging song to end it, you know? I'm a big fan of Grease, by the way. What's it called? But like, it always annoys me that people overlook that. And I find this really frustrating that the idea is to have DK changing the way he is. To do that, you know?
Yeah.
The problem here is, the reason why I'm referencing the Grease thing is because it feels like that, except we're also ignoring the way Candy's behaved.
Yeah.
The way Candy's behaved, like, what lesson is that for a child?
Her behaviour throughout the entire show is...
It's odd. It's an odd lesson to be teaching children, I think.
She goes from like being like a... I'm going to say money grabber, but it's like more of like a banana thing, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
She's clearly
wants promotion, needs money.
Yeah, clearly using him.
It seems to, you know what I mean? Like, and so you can say, well, it's a lesson about DK treating her better. I completely understand that. But then why have it so that she falls into Leo's arms?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, immediately. As if, like, it doesn't matter who she's with, really.
But treating her better, you know, so he's entitled to go to a...
but not if he's only got a pre-arranged date, you don't cancel that shit.
No, of course
you don't.
Not,
That's or at least you talk to her. You don't tell her. You say, "Listen, this is cool. Maybe we do this and all that." And she says, "No, I want to go on a date." You go, "All right, did he? Tough shit."
Yeah.
Football will be around again. You know what I mean? Maybe we're doing that thing where we overanalyze. I think a Donkey Kong Country episode.
But I'm just saying, let's say for example, a team gets through to a final, and that final gets put on a date. Then there should be some sort of negotiation, and she should be understanding. As
a non-sports fan, I disagree heavily with him. I couldn't give a shit to put it that way. Let's just watch Grease instead now. Grease is the word. Anyway, Bluster remakes his concoction as both DK and Diddy and K. Rool and gang arrive at his factory. However, he's messed it up, and he's lost all his hair now. I don't ever need to see a completely naked, bald Bluster ever again.
Yeah.
That was disturbing. He tries to make it again, but DK's arrival interrupts him, allowing K. Rool to take the new concoction. And K. Rool reveals to Bluster that he has it and tells Bluster that he has to bring him the crystal coconut if he wants the liquid. That's a really good idea.
It's
a
great,
good plan.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
But stuff, come on, seriously. It is a good plan. I
Yeah, we know he won't get the. We know about the coconut. The whole goal. I didn't realise to the end of the series, and maybe it's our fault for missing this, but basically, the whole goal seems to be if he can get it into his vault, that's it. He's won.
Yeah.
Because the vault's locked.
Yep.
And I guess he never has to give up the code or anything like that.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, all right. The problem is he gets at dilly-dallies and stuff like that. Bluster, now normal, gets DK and Diddy to leave on the idea that Candy wants DK back. Diddy is suspicious, rightfully, but they head off. K. Rool and gang arrive at the hut too, which makes Bluster's involvement pointless. I was baffled. I was like, why did you do that? Why have you sent Bluster to get it just to arrive yourself? You don't need Bluster. You could just tell Bluster, go distract them.
Exactly.
That's it. K. Rool gives them the serum and they leave with the coconut. See, that was another dumb idea as well. Just don't give them the serum either.
Yeah.
Don't.
Oh.
DK and Diddy arrive back, having failed to find Candy and notice the coconut is gone. We then see Candy alone at Funky's new restaurant. DK arrives and tries to tell her that Bluster stole the coconut, but Leo now arrives. He informs DK that it's okay, roll with the coconut, and they both head off to get it back. As they get into it, Clump throws a barrel from up high and knocks them both out. The apes now wake up in a cage, tied up, and Bluster is back to normal, confusing DK. And Bluster reveals that he is Leo and what he did. Kill them. Kill them, K. Rool.
Done.
DK breaks them out of the ropes. See, this is the thing. And tells Bluster that he needs to become Leo and hypnotise them, all without the serum. DK encourages him, telling him Leo's in you and all that. That's a good message.
Yes.
That's a good message.
I do agree with that.
And it does seem to work as Leo arrives and sings a song called Baby, I'm Back. And it's enough to convince Crusher to let them out, and Bluster runs out of call as K. Rool and Clump try to escape with the coconut. I don't mind this part.
No.
I think it's okay message.
It's a very good message.
It's inside you, yeah. You
exactly,
can't change yourself by using potions and shit like that. It's inside you. Absolutely. DK is able to get the coconut back, but K. Rool gives chase. Bluster actually manages to beat up Clump and Clump though, and DK puts a stop to K. Rool because, of course, Donkey Kong Country.
Of course.
Later at Funky's restaurant, DK forces Bluster to tell Candy the truth. Something she laughs at, not believing, and DK slides in and offers to have dinner with her. She agrees, but reminds DK of the game, and he rushes off to go see it. Wah, wah, wah. At least that's a funny ending. Yeah, this is a decent episode. I like it. I think it's got some fun ideas.
Yeah.
I actually really like the character of Leo Luster. It's quite funny. His songs are quite funny. There's a certain level of sleaze to him as well.
Yeah, definitely.
While being super cool, like the Fonz and stuff like that. I like the mixing around the concoction. I like the DK comedy around the video, going to see the game.
Yep.
And other than the Candy stuff, which is often our biggest criticism, I'm down with this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in this episode. And
A busier episode, yeah.
Yeah. So they could have gone many ways in this episode, many ways.
But I think they surprisingly kept it coherent.
Yes,
and
yeah.
quite simple without getting overtly confusing.
Yep.
Yeah, enjoyable one. Episode 36, Hunka Hunka Burnin Bluster. Got any thoughts on it? You know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?